yet again to another session of Women in Business. It's always a delight to have you. I'm Doreen Kemcha, Women in Business on Smart 24 TV. Now, we've had interesting conversations around registration of businesses. We've had interesting conversations about intellectual property, but we have to recap and get back to the registration of businesses. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about exactly that, business registration. And who better to take us through than our guest today on this particular episode? On our guest list right now, we have two amazing ladies, and they're going to give us insight on the intricacies, the complexities involved in registering your business, just in case you need to find out how it all starts. But we're also going to bring you another example, another lady who's going to come and tell us exactly what went wrong and what happened in her own journey registering her business after a while. So on this episode, we have an amazing lady, Zoe Kiza, who is the registration officer under Uganda Registration Service Bureau. And then we also have Karen Bukira, who is the MD for Bloodworth. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you, thank you.
It's a delight to have you. We've been having these interesting conversations, and women, especially women in business, random talk, but also we get to have this particular vibe from women that are already established. Others are upcoming, others have no idea about it, but they are still within, one leg is this side, another leg is the other side. We're going to start with you, Karen. Karen, you have an interesting story to tell us. What happened? Just briefly, just give us a hint about what happened so that we can use that as a platform.
What happened? I had been operating in business for close to 13 years, and I had not registered my business. So when I got to the point of registering the business, I discovered that my name could not be registered because it was similar with some other name that was already registered. So I could not register it.
I just want to get this straight, 13 years you're operating. You already have a client base. You have made all these different banners and all these different IDs. You are literally in the game. You are already making money. You're already a proud business owner. You represent yourself as such. 13 years. And then you all of a sudden get out there and you're told it can't happen. You can't register that name. Chiza, how often do you see cases such as this? 13 years. Do you even have empathy? Is there any compassion? Is there a shock? How do you handle a case such as Karen's case? 13 years.
There are actually very many of such cases that come up. Yeah. And the defense they use is, I've been operating for 30 years under this name. Everyone knows me.
Yes.
Under this name. And then you come to ask, why haven't you registered? Is it that you are not aware? Most people are aware, but they are adamant. And maybe they've not realized the benefits that you get out of registration. Yes. But for us, when you come to us to register, we'll first look at your name and look at our register. Who came before you? Even if you've been MTN and you've been operating for so much years, and someone came and registered MTN yesterday, we shall not give you MTN.
No,
understand?
What's the highest number of years you've had someone operating and registered? Karen is 13, was 13 years. What's the highest number you've seen of years?
I cannot actually say the number of years, but people come as far as 40 years.
Yeah.
And they've never registered.
Years.
But I think it's attributed to mostly women. It's attributed to some fears. Some women say, when I register my business, maybe my husband will make a search and find out I'm a rich woman. Then problems start from there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can say maybe it's the ignorance of processes, but that is attributed a very least percentage. Most people are aware of these processes. Yeah. Some people have a misconception that when I register now, URI is going to look at me and start taxing me.
Taxing.
Yes. But that is a misconception. Because not every business is taxed. Yeah. Tax is charged against the profit that you make. If you've not made a profit
in a particular profit,
they won't tax you. But also if you've made some money, really, it's just fair enough that you join the rest of the taxpayers like us. That you give, yes,
and do your
that
part.
you contribute, yes, to the economy. But those are fears that people have to outgrow. And you look at the benefits.
Karen, you've given us just a sneak peek into some of the reasons why. We have the horse here. From the horse's mouth. Just give us an idea, just like, she's talked about 40 years, which is, it's incredible to even imagine 40 years that you can have a solid base, have this business going on, you are so comfortable, and then your world is like turned upside down, and you have to start all over again and revamp your image, revamp your brand. So what was going on in your mind in all those 13 years? Like, you wanted it to be small, just something small, and then it kept on growing? Like what? What was in your mind?
Well, sometimes there are factors. I can say procrastination. When you say I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it next week, and you can do it. And the lack of knowledge, that we lack the knowledge that, like, we need to business guys. Like, we're told business, before even you start your business, get your business name registered, get your business registered, get that idea of yours registered, so that you don't work for so long and then after somebody telling you can't have your business name registered.
Yeah. Is it per se ignorance? Because I think there are levels, right, of ignorance. Is it the ignorance that, you know what, I don't know how to start a business? Or is it the ignorance about, I don't know what the relevance, the rationale is about? So which we have to be very specific about this particular ignorance. Karen, was it because you didn't, it wasn't more or less, this is my business, I know what it's all about, let me grow it, yes? I will go there another time whenever I have the time or whenever I have the money, or it was more or less, by the way, this registration, what are they going to help me about? Are they going to, you know, that yes, attitude also comes in, eh? Are they part of my hustle? Are they part of my plan? Are they going to give me anything? What are they going to do? It's very easier. It's quite easy for example, someone to get into, when there's an application for all these calls for the incubators. And then they say, oh, to participate in this, you must be registered. Then the person will quickly rush and get registered, because they know if they are not registered, they're not going to be part of that. So what level of ignorance, as you call it, were you coming from?
I think the benefits.
The benefits.
Not knowing the benefits.
Yeah.
And she's right about that. At some point when you conceive these ideas, you think you're going to be small forever. You look at your small capital of 1,500,000, then you look at the things that you're doing. I'm doing my crafts, I'm doing this. This is going to be a small thing. And then you start wondering, why should I register? But you don't know where you're going to be tomorrow. Every big business started as a small business at a certain point. Where are you going to be tomorrow? But for you to be there, you have to take some baby steps towards that. Huh?
Yeah.
So that's why.
But Chiza, you see, it's so funny. When we started this, at the beginning of this conversation, I was more or less like the rest. Yeah, you start off, because we've been encouraging women, come up, register your businesses, do this. Until I met Karen, and until I met another lady, I didn't know the implication of the timing of registration. Yes? I didn't, it just like didn't hit me. And this is why I said I have to hunt you down and I'd get you guys to ask you. I didn't know about the timing and how important it is. That Karen can be operating this business for 13 years. Yes, and lose out because she has found out like her name is already taken. Like another person can come in after 40 years. So the timing of the registration matters. Just give us a little hint on that. Midway, beginning, what?
Me, what I normally tell people, and mostly women, I've been to several engagements, once you conceive an idea, it doesn't matter whether you have capital to start in a certain place, whether to establish a certain place of business. Secure your name.
Your name first.
Secure your name. Register. So that tomorrow, someone is not going to come and ride on your goodwill.
Yeah.
Hadn't MTN and Airtel registered and someone registered before them,
Yeah.
wouldn't someone be riding on their goodwill? Start with those baby steps. Tomorrow you may land a deal. We don't know where you're going to tomorrow. These markets are opening up. East African community, Congo is opening up. We're having export promotions now. How are you going to be competitive in that market? Are you going to walk in as Kerry, as an individual, or you'll be more competitive when you are a registered entity? You have to look at how much you would lose by not registering at a small fee, as small as 24,000 actually, for a business.
And it's hard to believe that it's actually 24,000.
Yes.
Is it because we're always keen to use brokers? Why?
That is part of the ignorance that she was talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're ignorant about the processes, sometimes the cost that is involved. Someone will come to you and say, I want 1 million to register for your business name. But it's not true.
And then you haggle down to 500.
Yes, yes, and you pay. And actually, if you just walked to an office, people have to outgrow these fears of fearing government offices.
Yeah.
Just walk there, talk to someone. No one is going to beat you.
Why?
Yes.
Why do you think they fear government offices? Are you hostile inside those offices? Why do you think they
I can't tell,
fear?
but maybe it also depends on different experiences they've had from somewhere.
Yeah.
At URSB, everyone is as warm as anything. Everyone is as receptive. The customer care is top notch.
Okay.
So you will not get those experiences. When you come here, actually, you'll establish that it is very easy to register a business at the cheapest cost. Hassle-free, actually. So learn to approach offices for whichever services that you need, for you to establish the processes at the cost that you need. That's when you'll not be fleeced by middlemen or, yes.
Or anyone else. You talked about something, fear of offices. And I imagine the woman down, there's so many big expanses, the huge offices such as this one, that we get to enter in, and the very first thing that hits you is, I've had that moment so many times, whereby you walk into a new place and all you see is this huge expanse filled with the different cubicles and all that, just like that open layout, that format that is there right now. Not like last time whereby there were doors with a little bit of a name tag, so you'll be walking around, looking for the person you want. But now it is open space, right? And the very first thing I do is normally I stop, and then I look around and see exactly where is the first teller, where is the reception, where is this and that. So it came to my mind, and I was like, maybe the person who walks in is overwhelmed by so much stuff, and the very first thing they do is, how do I organize my thoughts now? Where do I start from? Does that normally happen, like when they walk within here, within these offices?
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. But you as a person, what have you come to do? You're going to be threatened by the people around and run away. You understand?
We talked about hostility. You as a person, what have you come to do? Is
Yes,
that
what
part of
do you
it?
want? When you're coming from home, what were you coming to do?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
You approach anyone on this desk. We have a reception there, but even if that's not the person who's supposed to receive you, even if you go to another cubicle, you will be able to
They'll direct
you to the right person. So it starts with the confidence you have as a person, and knowing what you want as a person. If you know I've come to get this service, and I'm going to get it. That's where it starts from. Get some confidence, walk to someone, they'll always guide you to the right service.
Karen, why did you use a broker? Did you use someone else? Because you said you used someone else to help you with the registration. Yeah.
For my case, we were doing it
As a group?
yes.
Okay.
So not a broker per se, but as a group. From where I'm in, like in G-Swim.
Yeah.
So it was a collective
Effort.
arrangement, yes.
What about those instances? I want you to break it down. Like, for the person who is watching right now, to the woman who is still getting over her nerves of the business offices, yes? And wondering where to start from and trying to organize her thoughts. When she walks right now into this office to register, because we'll talk about the online services. In case she walks into this office or another office, because there are so many different services that are encouraging women to come up and seize them. So I'm assuming that it's not even just only, the registration bureau today, but she can walk into another office as well. So when she walks in, the very first thing when she walks in, what should be in her mind, and how should she organize in the context of registering her business? Just give us a hint.
Okay, first of all, when you're at your home, the comfort of your home, or maybe somewhere in your business, you have an idea, you have something you want to do. What is in your mind will now form the basis of what you want to register, the vehicle under which you want to operate. If I'm Nakamate, a woman selling my crafts, my other products, liquid soap, bar soap, and I'm alone, and I'm just starting, my thoughts as Nakamate, I think I need a business where I'm going to operate alone, which is very easy to operate when I'm alone as an individual. Then if you were to walk to us, then we'll give you that advice, that maybe you need to register what? A sole proprietorship, because at that point, that would be convenient for you. Or maybe Ruth, I have my other friends who are 3, and we're doing this business together to earn profit. But we want to register it together as the 5 people. Then we'll advise you that maybe you will need to register a partnership, and both at a cost of 24,000 shillings.
To all the different
The
partners.
The sole proprietorship and the partnership that I've talked about.
All is 24,000.
Yes. Then maybe you're at home and say, maybe I have some money, I want to really give back to the community, I need to help some children in Katanga, I need to give back to the community, I need to do social work.
Yes.
But how should I legalize the entity under which I'm going to operate? I shall advise it, and maybe you need to register a company limited by guarantee that doesn't have a profit-making motive, that is social-based.
Is that a social enterprise?
A company limited by guarantee.
Yeah, the one you're talking about, or is a charity?
Yeah, yes. That's the one that's concerned with charities. You're not going to make profit out of it. It's not business-oriented, basically. So you'll come to us and we advise you that that's the entity you're supposed to register. Maybe you want to form an NGO. It's a requirement now that you have to first register a company limited by guarantee for you to now proceed and establish an NGO. Or maybe you now want to form a company and you're alone. And we have a single member company.
Really?
Yes. You are, yes, alone. Kerry. Yes.
You didn't know that?
Now you know.
Now you know. This information is intriguing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's too much. And this is what I say. Now you're saying it is because there are so many people who just come in and they're like, I have this idea. Yes? I have my candles, I have my liquid soap, and yes, maybe that's a sole proprietorship, right?
Yes.
And then there's another one who is like, yes, I have my 2 friends, my 3 friends, and they just don't have an idea where to start.
Yes.
So this sole person here can actually also start up a company.
You can, depending. The people who actually have deals that would require them to operate as a company. Yes.
You had an example.
The purpose of establishing this single member company was to break the red tape in the management of companies. You have so many shareholders, you have so many directors, you have to call meetings, you have to look for so and so to sign.
Yes.
But you are a single member. You can hold your meeting, take your minutes, yes, sign your documents.
Dictators.
Yes, it is for the seamlessness, ease of doing business.
Yes.
For you as an entrepreneur to be able to operate as seamless as possible without any technical glitches that are caused by maybe the vast structures of the formal company. So you can register a single member company. You're a single shareholder. You can be a director. You actually don't need to have a secretary.
Really?
Yes. But just for your convenience, you can decide to appoint a secretary or appoint another director to act maybe in your absence, yes. And then you appoint a nominee and alternate director. Those come in.
And all, those are not shareholders.
You're one shareholder.
You're the sole shareholder.
Yes, and you own the entire stake in the company.
Oh, 100%.
Yes, but the rest of the people you may appoint just help in the running of the business.
Okay.
Yes, but it's not a must. You can be the single director. You don't need a secretary.
Yes.
Yes, you can run the company alone
This
as a single member.
This is interesting, and this is why we love to talk to women. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we love to we love to hunt these people down. And right now we have Chiza giving us further insight. But
Yes,
before we come
yes.
back and she gives us further insight, let's take a very, very quick break, and we'll be right back after this message.